So I had no problem with fights. I was ready to level him, and he was probably ready to scratch me up.
James Corden.
I'm the cat they all greet as I walk down the street in my coat of fastidious black.
From Gavin and Spacey to many animated and musical blockbusters, James Corden worked hard on a lovable image, but many felt that he was working too hard. Corden's obtrusive interview style especially rubbed them the wrong way. Well, in 2019, a Reddit user recounted witnessing Corden verbally abuse a restaurant waitstaff. This behavior got him banned from a restaurant in 2022.
I didn't get up out of my seat. I didn't call anyone names or use derogatory language. I've been walking around thinking that I hadn't done anything wrong, right? But the truth is, like I have, I made a rude comment, and it was wrong. It was an unnecessary comment. It was ungracious to the server.
And just before he left The Late Late Show, Corden was ousted as a control freak by a director on the game show A League of Their Own.
Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Maya,
that's right, I don't give a
With his wholesome brand unraveled, Corden has fallen from the spotlight. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy? Not according to longtime critics.
That I've ever upset anybody, ever. It was never my intention. It just wasn't. And I love that restaurant. I love the staff there. I hope I'm allowed in again one day. So when I'm back in New York, I can go there and apologize in person, which is something I will absolutely do.
Ezra Miller. Maybe there wasn't that much acting in the chilling breakout performance of We Need to Talk About Kevin.
And finally, once you've sucked up that entire bottle of wine, you can go all gooey-eyed and say how nice it is to spend quality time together. You can scooch over and put your arm around my shoulder and give it a little squeeze.
Ezra Miller went on to score acclaim in such big roles as The Flash in the DCEU. Their public image, however, was blemished by eccentric behavior and a volatile lifestyle.
Let's do one more. To root.
The world took notice in 2020 when Miller was filmed attacking a woman in Iceland. 2 years later, a series of disorderly conduct complaints in Hawaii culminated in leaked body cam footage of Miller yelling at police during an arrest.
To leave, police say Miller threw a chair that struck a female in the head, resulting in a half-inch cut on her forehead. It's the latest of several run-ins with the law for the Flash star just over the past month alone.
Their disgrace would be cited as a factor in the franchise-killing flop of 2023's The Flash.
I know sex exists, I've just never experienced it.
Of course, Miller's former fans knew this meltdown was a long time coming. James Woods.
I want you to understand that I am looking out for you in this thing, okay? You're gonna get yours back. You're gonna get back first.
Noted for decades for his raw talent and intellect, James Woods is also known for saying some not-so-smart things. His behavior, particularly with women, was a source of controversy long before his outspoken conservative views.
Well, the jury disagreed, didn't they? But if it's any consolation, you look really hot in that suit.
Dream on.
I will.
Woods is at least agreeable in his claim that it's wrong for actors to be blacklisted over their political beliefs. However, bigoted comments and conspiracy theories on social media are a different story. Since the Trump era, Woods' statements have steadily drifted further to the right and even into violent rhetoric. He has not been on the screen since 2017.
I'm so sorry about all this, man. I don't even know what I was thinking. I can't even sing. You know that.
Woods may be a political martyr for some, but others feel that his hot-headedness has just caught up with him. Kevin Spacey. The public was shocked when Oscar winner Kevin Spacey was accused of serial sexual assault in 2017. Even now, there's little talk about how rumors long persisted in the industry. Rosie O'Donnell tweeted, "We all knew about you, just as allegations were starting." There may also be something to a 2005 episode of Family Guy in which Stewie shrieks while shouting, "Help! I've escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement!"
Help! I've escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement! Help me!
Finally, Anthony Rapp, Spacey's initial accuser, had described being assaulted by an unidentified actor in a 2001 interview with The Advocate.
Rapp said in a statement to ET, quote, "I came forward with my story, standing on the shoulders of the many courageous women and men who have been speaking out, to shine a light and hopefully make a difference as they have done for me."
More than 30 accusers and several legal victories later, Spacey's guilt is still not formally confirmed. Still, the scale of the allegations and the state of his career suggest another dark open secret in Hollywood.
I hope that everyone who's dealing with these sorts of situations does feel the courage to come forward.
Johnny Depp. Neither actor survived the court of public opinion after Depp versus Heard in 2022.
Outside the courtroom, it was pandemonium and fodder for the tabloids, a viral sensation leaning heavily in support of Depp.
I think vast majority of this trial was played out on social media. I think that this trial is an example of that gone haywire, gone amok.
Amber Heard's loss and history of abusive behavior may have changed her fans' tune, but ex-husband Johnny Depp is no stranger to backlash. His bad boy image has been supplemented by arrests and lawsuits for violent behavior as far back as 1989. In recent years, scandals have included glib threats toward President Donald Trump.
I apologize for the bad joke I attempted last night in poor taste about President Trump. It did not come out as intended, and I intended no malice.
And ex-girlfriends Ellen Barker and Jennifer Grey have publicly spoken about his volatility.
Getting into alleged fights in bars and skirmishes with cops. Quote, he'd started missing his flights home to LA having overslept, or when he did come home, he'd be crazy jealous and paranoid about what I'd been up to while he was gone.
Only after Heard's op-ed piece and Depp's defamation suit was he burned by Hollywood. The scandal has sparked discussions not only about domestic abuse and gender dynamics, but also recognizing disturbing patterns in our favorite stars. Lindsay Lohan. Downward spirals are sadly common among child actors. Lindsay Lohan seemed to be an exception, until her transition into more adult pieces was derailed by scandal. After surviving an overdose at age 18, she spent most of her 20s in and out of rehab for substance use disorder.
What do you think? Maybe I could just have one drink? Have you been there?
No, no, because I know that I can't. And that's what helps me, that's what teaches me not to.
You know that you cannot?
Right. I play out the whole story of what I've put myself through when I do, and how that just takes me here.
Multiple arrests for disorderly conduct further fueled extensive tabloid coverage. Meanwhile, what work she could get tended to be low profile and critically panned.
All artists feel that way. It's normal.
No, I want to quit.
The once wholesome Lohan suffered one of the most talked about celebrity downfalls of the 2000s, foreshadowed by personal history and the trappings of stardom at a young age.
My main objective is, to maintain my sobriety.
Okay.
And that's what...
And have you been sober since we last met?
Yeah.
Hello. Let's celebrate that. That's where you are right now.
She's been sober since 2013 and is steadily rebuilding her career and public image.
Honey, I don't know your life.
Why did you waste time insulting me? Why did I waste time judging your hair? This is not a competition.
It kind of is, though.
Shia LaBeouf. From polarizing genre fare to acclaimed dramas and subversive art, Shia LaBeouf has always been a perplexing talent, but his public image has been condemned by everyone, including the actor himself. His volatile behavior and substance use disorder have led to many disturbing public incidents. Viral videos of arrests, public meltdowns, and even violence obliterated LaBeouf's mainstream bankability. Even the art film industry mostly abandoned him after ex-girlfriend FKA Twigs sued him for severe abuse.
FKA Twigs says she filed this lawsuit and is speaking out to help women in abusive relationships.
He would often just start having an argument with me in the middle of the night, start accusing me of doing all sorts of things, planning to leave him in my head. He'd wake me up and tell me I was disgusting, that I was vile.
It was a more gradual process than some feel he deserved. LaBeouf has expressed great remorse since committing to Christianity and sobriety in the 2020s. Still, he'd be the first to admit that he's blown too many chances for the public's comfort.
Don't you see what we built? This is the dream. The unwanted, the unneeded, the uneducated. We're all together now. Power to the people. Power to the people!
Chvy Chase. Edgy and sardonic humor has cultivated a huge fan base for Chvy Chase. It hasn't exactly won him many fans in the industry. Chase is notoriously difficult to work with for his ego, pranks, and highly inappropriate gestures.
And he slapped me across the face, like really hard. So hard that I saw red. Like my first instinct was like, I'm gonna punch Chvy Chase. And, of course I didn't.
For decades, the public has been well aware of his feuds and antics. They just didn't take that very seriously until his attempt to reach a new generation of fans with Community. Chase was instead dismissed from the popular sitcom due to hostilities that his former castmates have been very vocal about.
There was an incident that happened.
What? I don't know, so I hope.
Oh, well, he made some remarks that were deemed to be racist, a comment that he made. And I think that was kind of it.
He has responded in kind, but makes no apologies for his behavior. If Chase's reputation has burned bridges through the years, he's now practically blacklisted.
Billy's like 6'1".
Right.
I'm like 6'3.5" at the time.
Right.
And John puts his hands in the door to block it off. And as I remember, I might have thrown a glancing punch off to his forehead.
Wow.
And Billy, I think, might have hit him in the back of the head. So John was the one. Yeah.
John broke it up.
John broke his head up.
Steven Seagal. The combativeness that made Steven Seagal a star with audiences made him a pariah among colleagues. His on-set abuses, particularly with stunt performers, hold nothing for the offset ones that took decades to bring him down. Allegations of sexual harassment go all the way back to 1991.
Several other women have accused Seagal of inappropriate behavior, including Juliana Margulies, Jenny McCarthy, Portia de Rossi, and Inside Edition's Lisa Guerrero when she was an aspiring actress.
Though Seagal has been consistently lucky in court, he has a bizarre history of dishonest branding. The sheer volume of controversy steadily eroded his status until he was driven into obscurity amid the #MeToo movement, an expression of extreme political views.
Listen carefully, Mr. Seagal. Some things are more important than money.
Seagal's friendship with Russian President Vladimir Putin is particularly unsettling. Of course, the always divisive action icon's collapse has been a quiet process for some time.
But I've worked with a lot of action stars who are now washed up, so that was easy for me to pick who that character would be.
Name names.
Yeah, well,
name names?
Who in mind? I know who you're thinking of, so... Yeah.
All right, it's Steven Seagal, who I base it on. Well, he's a bully, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen. Granted, a downfall is to be anticipated when there have been several. Charlie Sheen spent the 90s entrenched in controversy for his personal life, particularly his substance use disorder.
And then what? What's the cure? Medicine? Make me like them? Not gonna happen. I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what? If I'm bipolar, aren't there moments where a guy like crashes in the corner like, oh my God, it's all my mom's fault? Shut up. Shut up. Stop. Move forward.
His love life has included many adult film stars and violent incidents. Sheen's film career was practically over by the time he bounced back with the hit sitcom 2.5 Men.
I make a lot of money for doing very little work. I sleep with beautiful women who don't ask about my feelings. I drive a Jag, I live at the beach, and sometimes in the middle of the day, for no reason at all, I like to make myself a big pitcher of margaritas and take a nap out on the sun deck.
But after years of further scandal and disturbing political claims, his feud with showrunner Chuck Lorre resulted in his termination in 2011. Sheen has been sober since 2017, but his past continues to haunt his career, despite a history of comebacks as well. No one expects the next one to last for very long.
Are you confident of that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sociopathically optimistic at times, but people call it delusional. But that's all right. If I'm not confident or optimistic about it, then no one else will be.
What are some other acting career derailments that you saw coming a mile away? Speak up in the comments.
I regret nothing.
Did you hear from it?
The past doesn't exist and the future doesn't yet. So why don't we focus on this instant? Let's watch what happens live.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.